Beim BDU wird viel über Ihre letzte Patrouillenfahrt geredet. Gute Arbeit.
19 September 1940, 0943 hours. After the problems we experienced in the last patrol with faulty torpedoes, I ordered an immediate inspection of all torpedoes and pistols aboard U-48 while in La Rochelle. The problems were widespread, but there were solutions on the way. We now had access to the new T3 torpedo. This torpedo combines all of the hard-hitting punch of the steam-driven T1 with the stealth nature of the electric T2. They also have far more reliable pistols to decrease the number of malfunctions. Some T3s have also been equipped with the FAT guidance system that will allow them to come about after a distance so a missed shot can have more chances to strike the target or a different target. We will be testing these and reporting the results. We also said goodbye to our senior radioman, Rupert Vogt. He's been transferred to another posting that will be making use of his year's experience. The men cheered for him as he was well liked and had saved several of their lives. Filling his position is Walter Tietz. Tietz is older than the average U-boat sailor and mostly keeps to himself. His record shows good service, but watching him with the crew, he seems disinterested in socializing, and apparently he has no sense of humor. It's not that he's ill-tempered, he simply doesn't understand jokes. Very odd, but seems nice enough. After 10 days in port dealing with the torpedoes, BDU has ordered U-48 on a patrol of the waters north of Ireland. Our mission is to disrupt trade between Great Britain and Canada, and this gap of water is one of the few routes out of Britain that they still consider safe. We shall see what we can do to dispel that notion. We are tasked with sinking 10,000 tons of Allied shipping, along with testing the new torpedoes, pistols, and guidance systems in battlefield conditions. September 1940, 12:33 hours. U-48 has reached his patrol sectors and begins hydrophone sweeps, immediately picking up a contact. I ordered a course to intercept. Okay, we have our hydrophone contact we picked up as soon as we reached our patrol sectors. It is a freighter. We're going to go ahead and close distance and get some identifications. It is foul weather outside, so we may have to get somewhat close. There we are. These look like Argentine flags. Indeed they are. We're looking at a neutral nation, so we're going to have to close in and inspect. But judging by their course and their point of origin, I suspect this might be a false flag, and they're coming from Canada or the United States. More likely Canada. The freighter is unarmed and unescorted, flying a neutral flag. We cannot sink her without cause, or we will risk an international incident. I led a delegation to the freighter, accompanied by Herr Sommer and Herr Tietz, as well as 6 men. The captain welcomed us, but only spoke English. Luckily, one of my sailors, Alvin Peters, did as well, so there was no language barrier. He invited us to his office, where he offered to let us look at the shipping documents. According to the documents, the ship is bound for Port of Lisbon and is carrying food, and is not related to the war effort in any way. I decided to press a bit further into the validity of these documents, explaining to the captain that their course did not look as though they were bound for Lisbon, but rather for Liverpool. The captain started protesting, but found himself forced to admit that he was indeed smuggling his cargo to Britain under a false flag. This marks the freighters a fair prize for sinking. I ordered the captain to evacuate his crew, explaining that I am required to sink his ship. I ordered Herr Sachs to board the freighter and set charges in the engine room. (17:06) The Argentine freighter Rio Iguazu was reported sunk. I ordered U-48 to return to his patrol, immediately discovering another hydrophone contact. And we have made contact with the second ship that we had picked up on the hydrophone as we were closing in on our first freighter. This is another transport, this time leaving a British port, or at least British coastal areas. So this is probably going to be British, so we will close in to identify. Well, it looks like we have Swedish flags. Sweden is a neutral nation, but this is coming out of British coastal waters. But they may have gone through the North Sea and around the tip of Scotland. So once again, we're going to go ahead and close in and search them. Surfacing alongside the Swedish ship Mars, I ordered Herr Sommer to lead a delegation along with Herr Tietz, Herr Sachs, and 6 of the men. Just like the last freighter, the captain tries to speak English and doesn't speak German. Unfortunately, this time none of the men who went aboard spoke English, so the communication was somewhat difficult. However, they were able to ask the captain for his documents. Upon reading the documents, which were in English, Herr Sommer was having some difficulty until he found reference to Halifax, a Canadian port. Trade with a blockaded port made the ship a fair target. According to Herr Sachs, Herr Sommer was able to explain to the captain, through a series of gestures and noises, that he needed his men off the ship because they were going to sink it. Apparently, it was all he could do to keep a serious face through the spectacle. Herr Sachs planted explosives in the engine room to sink the freighter. (19:09) The Swedish freighter Mars was reported sunk. This satisfied our tonnage requirement. As I ordered U-48 to return to his patrol, we once again picked up a single hydrophone contact. I set a course to intercept. Well, we have encountered yet another freighter. We've avoided a couple of warship squadrons. Last thing I want to bump into are any destroyers or corvettes. So I'm not sure if those are regular patrols or if someone's radioed in that we are lurking in the area. But so far, all of our freighters have been unescorted. Let's close in and get an identification. We've sunk 2 ships, haven't fired a single shot. There we are, British flags. We're looking at Empire Bell. Well, with nothing else in the area, let's run up alongside her and surface the boat. and use our deck gun.
Wechseln auf Dieselmotor.
September 1940, 0:39 hours. The British freighter Empire Puma was reported sunk. I ordered U-48 to return to his patrol. (22:18 hours). Herr Eisenecker received a transmission from BDU. The enemy is transporting a large quantity of highly valuable cargo aboard Eric Boy cargo ship. Sinking it will help disrupt both enemy trade and the exchange of industrial goods. We estimate that it's currently passing through a square AM 575 with a course of 280 degrees. The ship is moving in a convoy traveling at a speed of 7 knots. The convoy is well out of the patrol sectors, so I ordered a course to intercept and set the engines to full speed to cover the distance. We have run across the convoy. We're radioing it in. There may be another U-boat on the way, but our first contact is a destroyer. There are a couple of freighters inside, so we're easily going to be looking at, I would say, 5 escorts minimum. Let's make sure our torpedoes are warm and ready. There's our destroyer friend. No, that's a corvette. I'm looking at a Swedish freighter, which might be our target. Looks like another destroyer over the horizon. Another Swedish freighter. Another Swedish freighter. Finally, a British freighter. A British tanker. Here we are. We are looking at this to be a town-class destroyer. Yes. Speed was listed at 7 knots, but we're going to verify that. Seven knots. Course was 280. With patience, we can take this entire convoy apart. Looking at 2785. Not a great shot. We're going to get a little bit closer. We're going to get a little bit closer and let them travel a bit further forward so we can hit them a little bit more squarely on the side of the hull. We are in a much better position to shoot. Let's recalculate our distance to target. You're looking at 20. Okay, 2014. Flood tube 2. Or actually, belay that. What is our draft looking like? Draft 2.74 meters. Flood tube 2.
Rohr 2, bewässern.
Torpedo depth. We'll leave it at 1.5.
Rohr 2, fertig.
Tube 2 flooded. Los!
Los!
Einschlagen.
0617 hours. The British Town-class destroyer G-08 was reported sunk. An excellent hit. Now, this should also flush out the escorts. Looks like we've got 4 more. So my guess of 5 escorts was pretty good. The real question becomes how many of these are destroyers. Maybe this one? Maybe that one. Our other option is to climb inside the convoy and let their sound mask our engines. Let's do that.
Jawohl.
It looks like they have no idea where I am. They may start hunting the area, or they may just go straight back to the convoy because they just have no idea. Okay, we are still undetected. Part of me wants to put another torpedo into one of these escorts. Really start wearing them down. Let's come up to periscope depth and do that.
Auf Seerohrtiefe gehen.
Zu Befehl.
We're close enough to make that happen. There's one Corvette and a second. Let's go ahead and check this one for her speed. She's a flower class. She's 7 knots. Her angle on bow. 7-8 degrees starboard. looking at a distance of 2208. We're going to use one of our new torpedoes with the fat guidance system.
Bewässern!
We'll swing starboard
Rohr 2 fertig.
at 2300 meters. Tube 2 flooded. Los!
Los!
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel. 80. Torpedoversager.
We seem to still be struggling from our torpedo issues. We will come back up to periscope depth and try again.
Auf Seerohrtiefe gehen.
We're looking at a distance of 1853 meters.
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
Let's verify that real quickly. Let's get a speed verification as well. Looks like he's speeding up. He has sped up. I'm glad I did that. And reconfirm angle on bow as well. We're looking at 8-9 degrees starboard. With a distance of 1704. Flood tube 1.
Rohr 1 bewässern.
Rohr 1 bewässert.
Los!
Los!
Sekunden. 10 Sekunden bis Einschlag.
(0656 hours). The British Flower-class corvette Rock Rose was reported sunk. Well, that one worked. Well, let's see what the escorts do now. They at least have a better idea of where I am. They still aren't detecting.
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloy.
They may think I'm over here somewhere, or just have a random, or not random search pattern, but just searching for me. But they don't know where I am. They're not headed my way. Looks like he isn't close enough to be picking me up. He's headed my way. He may have some whiff of me. They do not yet. Let's see how this goes.
Bestätigt. Sonarwellen, Herr Kaloi.
Yeah, he knows that I'm in the area. We're gonna adjust our heading.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloi.
Get ready to go all back. As soon as he drives over top of us, we're going to throw it in reverse.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Ei, Herr Kaloi.
It actually doesn't look like he knows where we are, but we are going to go ahead and make that run.
Kurs setzen.
Zu Befehl.
Hard to port.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Reverse one.
Zu Befehl. Direkt über uns, Herr Kaloi. Schiffsschrauben direkt über uns, Herr Kaloi.
Okay, we have not picked up the we've not picked up the Corvettes on our hydrophone. They may be still around the sonar decoy, or they are in our baffles. Let's adjust our course, get them out from behind us, see if we can't pick them up again. Also, I have no idea what this freighter is doing. He is definitely chickened out from the rest of the convoy.
Auf Seerotiefe gehen.
Well, quick view from the periscope. They are all targeting the sonar decoy's location. I think they may have seen the periscope. Well, maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't. Either way, we're going to let them continue to play over here. We may have to let this freighter get away from us. Because we've got a convoy to hit and a patrol to get back to.
Herr Kaloi, ein Sonar hat uns geortet.
They're searching for us again. We'll see if they spot us. We may have to drop another decoy. It looks like they did not spot us. So if we can effectively disengage from them while they think we're fleeing south, we can catch up to the convoy and finish taking it apart. It looks like they have disengaged. We've re-engaged with the convoy. We're going to go ahead and pull up along the rear of it, and we're just going to drive straight through with our guns.
Deck!
hours. After nearly 2 hours of continuous work with the deck gun, the Canadian freighters Eric Boy and Travessa, the Portuguese freighter Cacical, the British freighter Empire Baron, the British tankers War Brahmin and Alcades, and the Swedish freighters Gun, Gothia, and Daphne were reported sunk. We also picked up as many of the officers as we could from the lifeboats and gave supplies to the sailors. Our hunt took us far from our patrol area, so I ordered a course directly back towards the assigned patrol sectors but we needed to remain wary of the convoy's escorts as well as any other warships that might be lurking in the shipping lanes. Well, we have encountered another ship. This was a funnel smoke contact that we picked up. Now our hydrophone is also picking up a rather large convoy coming into the area, but this one is by itself. I think we might be able to sneak past with a torpedo attack and barely even have to slow down. Let's get a little closer alongside it and we will set up the shot. We are looking at Canadian flags. We can get a lot of traffic to and from Canada on this mission. Still at a bad angle though. Alright, now we are a little closer. Seas are a bit rough, but we can get enough. We've got an Empire Bell. Speed is looking at 6 knots. Angle on bow is 83 degrees off starboard. Range to target 1540. Let's see. It's flood tube 1.
Rohr 1, bewässern!
Let's set the torpedo to turn right at 1700 meters.
Rohr 1 bewässert.
Let's set our torpedo depth at 3.5 meters. Magnetic pistol. Los!
Los!
So the torpedo missed. We're going to see if it swings around and hits on the return. Well, it snaked around several times, but it did not catch up enough to connect. So we will go back up to periscope depth and fire another shot. Let's reconfirm our speed.
Herr Kaloi, ich habe eine große Gruppe von Schiffen festgestellt. Vermutlich ein Geleitzug.
We're still at 6 knots. Angle on bow, 6.5 degrees starboard. Distance to target is 1654. Flottube 1.
Rohr 1 bewässern.
We'll turn right at 1700 meters. 3.5 meter depth. Magnetic pistol, Tube 1 flooded, los.
Los!
I missed again, and I know why. Periscope depth. It's not an Empire Bell, it's an Empire Explorer. That makes all the difference. Re-verify range to target. One, 4, 1, 8. Flottube 1.
Rohr 1 bewässern.
Rohr 1 bewässert.
Tube 1 flooded, magnetic pistol depth. Turn right at 1460 meters, los.
Los!
It missed again. So, you know, surface the boat. We have a gun.
Tanks anblasen. Wechseln auf Dieselmotor.
Twenty 31 hours. The Canadian freighter James E. Newsom was reported sunk. With the unexpected and unconventional solution to the torpedo issue resolved, I ordered U-48 to return to our patrol. There was a small convoy still nearby, and I did not want to be in the area if their escorts get curious. September 1940. U-48 has completed his patrol with no further contacts. The test of the new torpedoes was largely successful with the exception of a single dud. Our tonnage requirements were more than satisfied by our inspections and the destruction of the convoy. I ordered U-48 back to La Rochelle. For completing 25 war patrols, Ernst Sachs, Hans Kraus, and Tanzenhose were awarded the U-boat front clasp in silver. Intelligence reports indicate that the Ryu Iguazu, flying Argentine flags, was actually registered in Britain. Additionally, the Casaquel, which was flying Portuguese flags, was registered in Sweden. Newspapers would also report that the Empire Puma and Eric Boy were both heavily loaded with precious metals cargo. Their loss dealt a heavy commercial blow to the Allies.
I mean the kind of music men hum or whistle when they feel on top of the world. And gentlemen, one of the many things that give you that tip-top feeling is the pleasure of being well-dressed.